Good morning once again, Honorable Councillors. I just want to apologize for what members of the opposition party were doing to obstruct the business of the meeting. Now we proceed with our meeting, and the IC is going to unmute you, and then we'll unmute you when you're supposed to speak. This is a properly consistent meeting, council meeting, and I take this opportunity to welcome the Executive Mayor, Chief Whip, members of the Mayoral Committee, leaders of the opposition, honorable councillors, acting municipal manager, directors, all our officials and members of the public connected to this meeting. Honorable councillors, this council is convened the day after African Day celebration. African Day is observed annually to commemorate the founding of the Organization of African Unity, which was created on 25th May 1963. It was the predecessor of the African Union. Honorable councillors, Africa Day provides an opportunity to celebrate the socio-economic achievement of the continent, and in line with the African Union theme for the year 2022, strengthening resilience in nutrition and food security on the African continent. We are called upon to work together and do the right thing for the constituencies and people that we serve. We owe it to our constituencies and our people, explicitly the children. They are the future leaders of tomorrow. We cannot become a leader that is malnourished and does not have the capacity to perform. More action is needed from all stakeholders. Honorable councillors, COVID-19 has revealed African nation economic fragility and health and food system inadequacies. With COVID-19, many countries' human capital gains over the last years are in danger. In many African nations, keeping the virus at bay has meant sacrificing malnutrition reductions due to greater food insecurity concerns. Waste grew. Urgent action is required to protect the poor and vulnerable. Intervention targeting the most disadvantaged are required to invest in human capital. Continued efforts are needed, including advocacy in communities where risks are greatest, strengthening social protection systems, and protecting access on good food and nutrition for the most vulnerable and disadvantaged groups like small children, pregnant and breastfeeding women, older people, and other at-risk groups. The 2022 Africa Day is aimed at generating awareness and consciousness for nutrition and health concern in Africa. With those few words, honorable councillors, I take this opportunity to declare this council officially open. Secretariat, can you read the next item, please?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The next item is item 2, application for leave of absence.
I don't have anything on my side.
Thank you very much. Item number 3, proposal of condolences or congratulations by the speaker.
None.
Item 4, proposals of condolences or congratulations by other members.
Next item, please.
Item 5, official announcements.
None. Next item, please.
Item 6, confirmation of minutes of the previous meeting. Minutes of the ordinary meeting held on the 28th of April 2022.
I have a set of minutes, council meeting minutes dated 28 April 2022. I'm going to, okay. I can see the hand, Councillor Matthews. IT, can you answer?
Thank you, Speaker. We are saying we are not fighting, but can we go to have physical meetings like the district did, unlike having this visual meeting? Because we do have the right to have that physical meeting.
Can you please mute this, Councillor, please, IT? I see the hand of Councillor Mutwana. IT. Can you allow Mr. Mutwana to talk, please? Councillor Mutwana.
Hey, Speaker, we are waiting here in your office. Where are you?
Can you please mute Councillor Mutwana?
We want physical consent.
IT, can you please mute this, Councillor? Okay, I see the hand of Councillor Jubet.
Thank you, Speaker. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you are, Councillor.
Morning. Thank you, Speaker. I don't think we're going to get progress if this is the situation. I was thinking that the councillors who were creating problems have been removed from the platform. If they're still going to be able to raise their hands, they're still going to be able to be difficult. And then you won't be able to see the hands that actually want to ask questions on items. So perhaps if there's no answer from IT side, perhaps we should postpone this meeting, because otherwise I'm scared that we won't be able to raise issues and have a proper meeting when there's chaos like this.
Thank you, Councillor Jubet. The meeting will be in control. You don't have to worry. If they continue doing what they were doing, we are going to remove them. I'm going to read page by page. Page 2, the agenda item. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5.
Speaker.
Councillor Jubet.
Case in point was just made, because I see the Honourable Mayor's hand was also up and he was not checking the hands previously now as well.
I didn't see the hand of executive.
Thanks, Madam Speaker and Council Chief Whip. Our fellow councillors who are part of this meeting. I think, Speaker, it might be wrong for us to continue with this meeting as if nothing has happened. That councillors who were responsible for disrupting the first session of the meeting, you know, you could reprimand them, and you could read the list of those councillors who were disruptive. We don't want to talk about which parties they come from. All councillors that are in this meeting are councillors of Polokwane municipality. And therefore, you may have to take whatever decisions that you take, but I think unless there is a particular explanation given, I believe that those councillors would have to be removed from this meeting and will have to be subjected to the ethics process. And I think it is time that when we misbehave, it must hit hard on our pockets. It cannot be as normal, because I believe that we have already wasted 1 hour or more than 1 hour of the councillors or of the council meeting. And if we allow such, it means tomorrow it will be another group of councillors planning to do the same thing. If councillors want virtual meetings, I believe that there is a proper way yourselves and the party leaders should find a way to deal with that. I'm also longing to see the physical human beings addressing people, and you know, it must never be that there's anybody who's scared of anybody from having a physical meeting. It must be your prerogative, and we respect that. But however, I think that Councillor Joubert is correct to say that we might have to rein on such behavior. If councillors deliberately just disrupt that particular meeting with no, if they've got any other reasons, I think the matter should have been brought to your table. But for now, acts of disruptions cannot be tolerated. And I believe that it's within your powers to read the list of those that were responsible for the disruption, remove them, and refer them to the ethics committee. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Executive Mayor. And the list of the names of the councillors who were obstructing the business of the meeting will be compiled and be sent to the ethics committee. Thank you. We were on set of minutes, and we were on page 5. I see the hand of Councillor Mukabedi.
Speaker, thank you very much, man. And you didn't recognize my hand earlier, but it's fine. I'm just want to align myself with what the executive mayor was saying, Speaker. Hence, we have captured it correctly. That I'm in support with what the executive mayor is saying, because we are running a council here, and we are guided by the rules of order.
Thank you. I've already ordered IT to remove those councillors. Page 6. Councillor Matachi. Executive Mayor, you lower your hands if it's not new. Councillor Matachi. It seems we have Councillor Matachi. Page 7. Page 8. Page 9. page 10, page 11, page 12, page 13.
Speaker.
Councillor Jubek.
Speaker, there's a hand of a councillor. It seems like you're not recognizing them as they're raising their hands.
Is Councillor Mokusa, and it's the one that was obstructing the meeting, Councillor Jubek.
Okay, but that's exactly my point what I made earlier, Speaker. If they're going to disrupt us, because I don't know who the troublemakers were. The troublemakers should have been removed from this platform. Otherwise, we're not going to know which hands are actual hands that are allowed to ask questions and are recognized in this platform. I agree with what the mayor said previously now.
Thank you, Councillor Jubet. And those troublemakers, they are busy removing them. Page 15, page 16, page 17, page 18, 19, 20, and 21. Attendance reports. Can I see any member to adopt the minutes? Councillor Lupe. Councillor Lupe. Councillor Lupe.
Speaker, I'm proposing that the minutes be accepted as is. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Al-Patani. Councillor Al-Patani.
Thanks very much, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to the Executive Mayor, members of the Mayoral Committee, and my colleagues. I second the move to adopt the minutes of the 28th April 2022 as a true reflection of what transpired in our last meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Councillor Al-Patani. Any member to second the adoption? Any member to second the minutes? I see the hand of Councillor Bukube. Councillor Bukube. Councillor Bukube. IT. IT, can you please unmute Councillor Bukube?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. As I was muted. Let me first greet yourself and also rise to second the latter speaker, Councillor Mariri and Councillor Lube. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Lube. The minutes are adopted. Secretariat.
Thank
Next
you, Honorable Speaker. We are now moving to item number 7, notice of questions and relevant answers. Item 8, motions deferred. Item 9, petitions. Item 10, notice of motions and relevant answers.
I can see the hand of Councillor Max.
Thank you, Speaker. Good morning. I just want to confirm certain written questions is not in the agenda. I'm not sure if you advised to Wipri, but if you can just confirm it today. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Councillor Max. Written questions which has been sent to the Office of the Speaker have been referred to the Office of the Acting Municipal Manager for further handling. This is in line with the Rules of Order number 8.1.5, which state that the municipal manager must, when he received a motion or question from the Speaker, without delay, submit the motion or question to the relevant directorate for a written report with recommendations in the event of a motion or a written answer to a question, where the report or answer shall be introduced in council via the relevant committee, which is legally competent to deal with the subject of the motion or question. Thank you. Next item.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. We are now on
Before
item
that,
11.
I can see the hand of Councillor Mariette. Councillor Mariette. Councillor Mariette. Councillor Max, is your hand one or one?
Thank you, Speaker. It's Mark speaking.
Is your hand the old one or the new one?
It's a new one. Can I just continue? Thank you, Speaker, if you allow me.
Okay.
It's on the previous that you've answered. I accept your explanation, and I just want to make a proposal. If your office receives motions or written questions, can you at least at the minimum record them at the start of the meeting and then say that those written questions are deferred, so that we have at least a record there in council as to what you've received. We don't have to discuss them, but just record what questions you've received, just for record purposes. Thank you very much.
Noted, Councillor Max. Councillor Mariette Pretorius. I can see the hand of Councillor Mokotwa.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Earlier on, I raised my hand and I was identified as one of those disruptive and ultimately cut off from the meeting. I have now been reconnected.
Honorable Councillor.
I just wanted to bring to your attention that I was marked as absent on page 8 in the previous meeting. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
On the minute. Okay, the correction is noted.
Thank you.
Councillor Mariette. Councillor Peters. IT, can you unmute Councillor Peters? Please unmute Councillor Pretorius. Councillor Pretorius. Secretariat.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. We are now on item 11, report of the Executive Mayor, Section A items. Honorable Speaker, I was advised by my superiors that you requested that we start with item 26 on volume 9. I stand to be corrected.
So ek moet dan maar net eers op volume 6 hierdie ding doen. Ag, vader.
Councillor Pretorius. We were waiting for you to speak. Then we have already passed to the next item. Secretariat, now we can deal with item 1 and 2. Then we'll deal with item 26 of the report of APEC after we deal with item 1 and 2.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Item 1, it's in the agenda, volume 1. 2022-2023 final integrated development plan from page 1 to 2. There are 4 attachments distributed separately.
Councillor Margaret Pretorius, please lower your hands. Next item.
Item 2, 2022-2023 final corporate calendar, page 3 to 18.
Next item.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As per request, we'll now move to volume 9, item number 26, APEC progress report to Council for second and third quarter 2021-2022.
Thank you. I'm now going to invite the members of the APEC to present the progress report. Is this Mr. Gekana who is going to present? Thank you, councillors. It seems we are having a problem with Mr. Gekana as he's already in another meeting. We are going to defer this item back. Next item, Secretariat.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. We'll now move to agenda volume 2, item number 3, multi-year budget 2022-2023 to 2024-2025. It continues in agenda volume 2 also, from page 147 to 283.
I can see the hand of Councillor Jubet. Councillor Dubet to be followed by Councillor Pretorius.
Thank you, Speaker. I have a question on page 197 on the capital budget. It's with regards to the Mankweng issue. I also want to welcome the recent briefing that we had with the mayor and the steps being taken to get Mankweng paying. But with that being said, we need to budget for the installation of the smart meters, and I don't see that reflected on the capital budget. On page 197, I would have thought it would have been under the water and supply reticulation section for installation of smart meters, but I don't see a budget there under the WESIG. Now, as I understand, it would have been a budget under CRR. If I can just get an answer on that, and then I might have a follow-up question after that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Dubet. Councillor Pretorius.
Thank you, Speaker. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you, Speaker. Page 56. I just want to refer to the academic hospital. It says here the aforesaid council resolution contains the conditions which the donee must comply with before the transfer of the ownership, such as rezoning, and that was already adhered to. So I want to know what is the conditions that the donee must adhere to, and why is this this hospital been delayed since 2012? I just need clarity here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Pretorius. I can see the hand of Councillor Nkwe.
Thanks, Speaker. Good morning, Executive Mayor and all the councillors. To answer Councillor Joubert, the Mankweng is covered on, if you can check page 15, summary of operating expenditure by standard classification items on contracted services and other materials. The 20 million will be taken from there. Thanks, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Nkwe. Councillor Rappelson.
Thank you very much, Honorable. In terms of the decision that the committee should do to satisfy the question of Councillor Rias, we will recall that as Councillor said, those who request land from us, they should be able to develop land of 2 years. Give us the time frame so that they develop within those time frames. If they exceed time frames, the land will be very back to the municipality. So that is the question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Rappelson. Next, Term Secretary.
Thank you very much.
Do you lower your hands? Secretariat.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Item 4.
Speaker, my hand is up.
Okay, my apologies, Councillor Joubert. I thought it was the old one. You may proceed.
No, it's a new one. Like I said, I want to perhaps do a follow-up. Thank you for the reply, MMC. I think we'll have a discussion perhaps in the next finance meeting regarding that. It's fine. But I just have a general comment on the budget as a whole. There was additional tariffs included in the tariff document, and like I said in the joint portfolio meeting before the IDP, and as well as in the joint portfolio recently after the IDP, The public didn't have adequate time to go through the tariff documents and the policies. Even in the joint portfolio meetings, I asked if there were any changes to the budget policies made, and I was given an answer that there was none made. But with the documents that were submitted, there was clearly a change to the policy, because we're looking at a different way of the sewage charges for business, non-residential charges. So there definitely was a change, and my feeling is the public has not been handled adequately. And I'll refer to the comment from Sapua that also wasn't in the initial joint portfolio documents, but at least it was added in this set of documents. They also said they were not happy with the way this is being done. One of the emails I'm going to read you, we encountered a similar situation last year as well, where the tariffs were released far too late for any meaningful public comment. Now, and this is an important stakeholder that I think we're not adhering or listening to. So for the sake that public participation from our view was not done adequately, can it just be noted that the DA is not supporting this item for the reason that public participation was not adequately done as per the relevant acts? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor. I can see the hand of Councillor will be followed by Councillor.
We'll do all the changes before it gets presented.
Councillor
Speaker. No, thanks. We are noting the input by Councillor Gilbert, and also the inputs were made at the joint admin and governance. And let me inform the council that the system sometimes is automated and it takes a lot of time to, it's not automated and it takes a lot of time to put the system there. But we have noted all the concerns and we'll make sure that the correct one is gazetted. Thanks, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Nkwe. Councillor Lubi.
Thank you, Speaker. I just want to say, yeah, I agree with the inputs that Councillor Hubert has made. At the admin or the finance admin portfolio, I also asked that the policy for overtime be included in here, and I don't see it. So that should be done as well. So please, but I support what Councillor Hubert is saying, and the previous speaker's answers was good to me. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Councillor Nkwe, is the old hands or the new one? If it was the old one, I'm going to call upon Councillor Racket.
Thank you very much once again, Honorable Speaker. For public participation to be done, like anything there, the system has to generate, of which the system is automated, and sometimes it takes time. But it is the DA public participation was sufficiently done in respect to their views. From my point of view, public participation is done, and we're budget related policies to deal with this budget. I move for adoption of the budget. Thank you.
There was a move from Councillor Rapeto for this item. Can I see the hands who supports or who second? please move. Councillor Matunsi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand here to support the move as made by Chief Whip of the Council, Councillor Rapeta. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Matunsi. Next item.
Honorable Speaker, will now move to Agenda Volume 3, Item number 4, Extension of Acting Municipal Manager.
Councillor Rapetwa, Councillor Matunsi, Councillor Tupi, may you please lower your hands, please. Next item, Secretariat.
Item 5, deviations from and ratification of minor breaches of procurement process, unauthorized, irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure. Item 6, stock taking for the third quarter of 2021 to 2022 financial year.
Can see the hand of Councillor Jubet and will be followed by Councillor Rapetwa.
Thank you, Speaker. On page 15, it says that this item went through the finance and LED portfolio, which is not the case. It was an item for the portfolio, but we were running out of time because a joint portfolio was going to start. So this item never was discussed in the finance portfolio and was deferred to the next finance portfolio. Actually, I had questions I wanted to raise there, and I didn't raise it because I didn't have the opportunity. So I would suggest that this item be referred back, as it did not formally go through the finance portfolio. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Jubet. Councillor Rapetwa.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Not agree with the referral of this item. Citizens believe that we can find this item. I understand the concern by Councillor that there are questions that we wanted to raise. I think we can still these questions here. Honorable Speaker, mine on the report is that it's the quality of this particular report. You can see that we are having, in terms of reporting format, we are having there, and the column speaks about the balance, the first count, the second count, third count, and sales difference, and sales average price reason for difference. I think we can have a column there, just for difference, that will speak about the usage. That after we have this balance and we've cut so much, we've used so much, and then this difference, and also on the reason for the difference, we have the reason. The reason is not used. This is referred as a loss. This is theft, etc. So that we are empowered as council if our employees are stealing our stock items or our items are damaged due to poor handling or to other losses. That reason for different, therefore not applicable. There must be things there. So I'm worried about the quality of reporting, and I want my basis for not taking this report back is that we also add a recommendation that will be referred to MPEG for further investigation, because this report is not that quite informative. If we take it to MPEG for further investigation, that will whatever question that we as councillors might have. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mapetswa. This item will be referred to MB committee.
No, Speaker.
Councillor Jubek.
Yeah, Speaker, if you can perhaps make a ruling. I told this council that this item did not go through the portfolio, so we're not following proper procedure, and I think MMC Nkwe will confirm. This item was not discussed at the finance portfolio. If you want me to ask questions here, I will, but the problem is we don't have officials that can answer these questions. We are politicians asking the questions.
Councillor Nkwe has to sleep. Councillor.
Yeah, no, thanks, Speaker. I think we have taken the input of both Councillor Gilbert and Chief Whip of Council, because indeed this item was supposed to serve at finance. So can you please refer it back?
Thank you very much, Councillor Nkwe. The item has been referred back. Secretariat, next item.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. We have noted that item 6 has been referred back to finance. We are now moving to item number 7. Progress on the bidding processes and moratorium by the National Treasury on the advertisement of the bids.
Next item.
Item 8, cash flow strategy monitoring report for the month ended 30 April 2022.
Councillor Jubek.
Thank you, MMC. Sorry, Speaker. Similar to what Councillor Rapetso said on the other item, I want to make a recommendation change to on page 115. Firstly, I want to welcome the report. I think it's a step in the right direction, so we can have proper control over our cash flows. But I just want to add the recommendation, and it was discussed at the portfolio. I just want it to be formally added as a recommendation. So your recommendation 1 would read that the report be noted as it is there. Just add recommendation 2, that future reports include comments from directors that exceeded the budgeted cash flow. It's just so we can get more detailed answers from the relevant directors if they over exceeded their cash flow planning. Thank you.
Councillor Jubek. Secretariat.
Honourable Speaker, we humbly request that Councillor Joubert repeat the added recommendation.
I was just calling his name just to say he may refrain for that question recommendation again. Councillor Joubert.
Must I repeat it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it seems like your sound is going up and down, so we're struggling to hear you as well. The recommendation 2 that should be added is that future reports include comments from directors that exceeded their budgeted cash flows. That's all. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Speaker. We have noted the recommendation.
Thank you, Councillor Jubek. Next item.
Honourable Speaker, we'll now move to Agenda Volume 4. Item number 9. Report on acting appointment as at April 2022, page 135.
I can see the hand of Councillor Pretorius.
Thank you, Speaker. Can you hear me?
Yes, may proceed, Councillor.
On page 137, I just want to comment on the position of Mr. Salepe obviously will now be extended as acting municipal manager. I just want to make sure his position as Director of Waste and Environment, will this in any case be affected, or will it stand as is? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Councillor Pretorius. Can see the hand of Councillor Rato.
Thanks once again, Speaker. I think we understand exactly as Councillor Pretorius and Mr. Slap is acting on the position of municipal manager. He's the director of community service. So the position is not affected. He's the director acting on as municipal manager. So there is a vacancy there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councillor Rato. Next item, Secretariat.
Item 10, update on councillors training, page 141.
Next item.
Item 11, report on recruitment.
Next item.
Item 12, 2021-2022 third quarter institutional performance report, page 148.
Councillor Pretorius, the old banks of the new one.
It's a new one. Thank you, Speaker. I just want to ask a question on page 244 in connection with the new municipal offices, the Polokwane Towers planning. The project is moving at a very slow pace. Payment of the service provider is being delayed as well. I just want to know why is this moving at such a slow pace, and why don't we see progress in this project? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Pretorius. Chief Whip.
Thanks very much, Speaker. And let us, as Council, appreciate a particular question because indeed we are being delayed. I think this speaks to what the executive mayor has been saying upon his Parliament, that we need to move speed in terms of project implementation. Where service providers are taking time, we need to terminate or need to put them on terms so that we finish our projects in time, and also fix our house so that be it adjudication committees or population committees will sit without hindrances, and those vacant posts that press are supposed to implement the much needed infrastructure. So I think going into this quarter, the relevant directorate should try to come up with ways in which this particular project can be fast-tracked. I think that is it's a serious concern to us as council, and we appreciate the action, and the directorate should really be concerned with this particular project. But this is the status quo report of what actually happened in the previous quarter. We also want to recommend that it be referred to impact for future. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Councillor Rato. Councillor Jubek.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, through you to the Chief Whip, we're struggling to hear him, so I'm not sure if he can perhaps move around. I was struggling to follow what he said there. Thank you.
Councillor Rapasa, may you praise what you have said.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, Speaker. What I was saying is, and I was just reiterating on what the executive mayor said upon his arrival in Polokwane, to say to move with speed in terms of project implementation, as it's been a thorn in this municipality. You can see that the appointment of transitional advisors on the panel to come and assist us in the financial model is moving at a very good pace. Now, this speaks to us having our policies meeting and trying to deal with issues of appointments. And the executive mayor has been very vocal on that. We are from strategic planning, matching orders has been given. We want to believe that going into the new quarter or the last quarter or the first quarter of the new financial year, much will be done. I was just appreciating what Councillor Torres has said. That's an issue to cancel. I would also like to see it moving with the speed it deserves. But also I added the recommendation because this is an oversight report. It be referred to impact for further schools. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Chief Whip. The report is referred to the committee. Next item.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Item 13, Polokwane Municipality Environmental Management Bylaw, page 251.
I can see the hand of Councillor Malope will be followed by Councillor Mukapeti. Councillor Malope.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to you. This one is the submission to refer the council to council cemetery management crematoria bylaw to council for approval for the refer for public participation process. If you can allow me, I can go through to item number 14, Honorable Speaker. I can couple those items to be a part of the attachment to report is the old Petersburg cemetery bylaw and proposed.
Yes, Councillor Malope, we can deal with the two items.
I can couple with this bylaw of Petersburg, draft bylaw.
Yes,
one. Okay. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And then the old Petersburg bylaw and proposed or draft bylaw for referred. This two item is one of the environmental submission to council.
Thank you very much, Councillor Malope. Councillor Mukapeti.
Thank you, Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, my apology in this regard. I thought maybe you'll start with me because primarily I was just to emphasize or question a point in terms of the, which was supported by Chief Whip for item, that one of the quarter, the third quarter institutional performance, because I heard you say that it must be referred back. Are you saying the entire document or the CWP 219, which the Chief Whip said that it must be referred back to MPEC for investigation?
Councillor Mukapeti, the item is not referred back, it's been referred to MPEC committee.
Which one, this CWP 219 only, or the entire item? I want us to capture it correctly.
The entire item.
All right, thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I can see the hand of Councillor Jubet.
Thank you, Speaker. We are in support of the item. I think the bylaw has long been overdue for being updated. It's a very old, and some of the terms they are in it is not sufficient for this day and age anymore. So we are happy with the draft document for public participation. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Jubet. Next item.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Item 14, Polokwane Municipality Cemetery Management Policy and Heroes Agri Policy.
Secretariat, we are on page item 15, volume 5.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. It was for record purpose. Item 15 are contained in Agenda Volume 5, Review of Security Policy 368.
Next item.
Item 16, Report on Public Participation, Anti-Fraud and Corruption Strategy and Whistleblowing Policy, page 403.
Next item.
Item 17, Report on the reinstatement of the non-pensionable allowance for gap market employees, page 442.
Next item.
Item 18, Report on Special Car Allowance Policy for Traffic and Law Enforcement Officers, page 514.
I can see the hand of Councillor Jubet.
Thank you, Speaker. I'm a bit perplexed on this item because I don't understand why it took so long for an item like this to come to council. Perhaps I can just be clarified. If you go and look on page 516, let's use Mr. Masamola as an example. He's been using his vehicle, as I understand, from the 1st of July 2020 without being reimbursed for travel, or it seems. If that's the case, why did it take so long for this item to come here and these officials to be reimbursed? That being said, I'm not sure if this is the way we are going to approach traffic law officers or community safety officers. I think we should relook on how we're going to pay them in future, because I know there was a decision in 2017, if I remember correctly. I think we might need to relook that and see if it's still financially the best decision, especially that we know in a new council and there's new councillors that might have not know what the logic was on that decision. So I don't have an issue with the item. I just think we need to relook the way we do these payments for this SPU. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Jubet. Councillor.
Thanks once again, Honorable. Yeah, I want to just agree with Councillor that we can't reinvest people today while they're using their vehicle in July 2020. However, we appreciate that steps are taken, and we urge that administration improve going forward on issues like this. But I think for now, because everything is up for review, we let it go. But for now, I think the best model, as this will ensure that the vehicles that are in operation for traffic officers will be well taken care of, because they are to be owned by very same traffic officers. Imagine why sometime 2017 a decision was taken that we bring this particular incentive or benefit is because previously we were procuring this vehicle because they were municipal owned. The drivers in the traffic officers were vandalized, were not taken good care of. So we're spending too much on repairs and the lifespan of the vehicle was very limited. So we're struggling to provide this particular service. But since we incentivize them, they can buy this vehicle, pay them the benefit, take care of the vehicle, we get value for money. This model, but I agree there is room for improvement. We can always explore other avenues, but for now, we need to agree that this is what is working for this institution. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councillor Rakatwa. Next item.
Honorable Speaker, we'll now move to Agenda Volume 6, item number 19, Environmental Management Leveling of Grave Mounds at Silicon Cemetery, page 540.
Councillor Pretorius.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just want to say on this item, thank you to the Environmental Management SBU on answering these questions on levelling of the graves. I'm satisfied with the answers. I just want to appeal to the municipality to be much more sensitive in future when graves are levelled. The public was totally traumatized and shocked to find the graves destroyed. And I just think it should be handled in a very much more sensitive way. And obviously the communication must be beefed up, which they already said they will do. It is very important. This is a very sensitive issue, and obviously people that have buried their loved ones cannot be sort of handled in a way that, that is very unsensitive to their loved ones. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Councillor Pretorius. Even though your line echoed, Councillor Jubet.
Thank you, Speaker. I agree with the sentiments from Councillor Pretorius. Thank you for the answers. I think it's a step in the right direction, seeing as that we are doing the review of the bylaw in any case now. So I think the public who had their issues, they have the opportunity now to raise their concerns and make suggestions where they are not happy with the draft policy. That being said, I just want to refer you to page 544 with regards to the reply on item 1. The question was if the public was informed of the proposed leveling of graves. You referred to an article there from the review online, or the officials did. That was an article from the review. It wasn't a notice. There was a notice issued on Facebook that I confirm, but there was never an official notice submitted in the newspaper. And if you go read the current bylaw, it refers to a notice in the local newspaper. So I'm afraid we actually legally, from my side, I think we didn't comply with that recommendation. Just wanted to make you aware of it so we don't make the same mistakes going forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Councillor Jubet. Councillor Pretorius, may we know why I can see a hand, Councillor.
All right, Speaker, just to check with Councillor Jubet, because in terms of the questions and question 1, where this is what to the public to inform them, he correctly said that the bylaw says that the local newspapers, but the answer again here, it says that notice was published in all municipal media platforms and media houses in Polokwane case review and observer. And we understand that review and observer operate print and what is that of media? Print or electronic media. So I think the condition of the bylaw was satisfied according to the response. But however, if there is improvement, but in terms of satisfied that condition, I think satisfied. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Councillor Petwa. Honorable Councillor Mtapamas. Honorable Councillor Mtapamas. IT, can you unmute Councillor Mtapamas?
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, Speaker. My challenge is that it's very difficult for me to hear the Chief Whip when he's speaking. I don't know if maybe it is my network or not. But at the same time, I'm worried about how this arrangement has unfolded because I've been raising hands and, I had to be at your mercy, whereas other people could be able to speak. And I feel that it is unfair. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mtapamas. It was not visible. Next item.
Item 20, Honorable Speaker, 2021 Mayoral Charity Golf Day Close-Up Report, page 559.
I can see the head of Councillor Jubert. Councillor Mabulo will follow Councillor Jubert in that.
Thank you, Speaker.
Before that, Councillor Jubert, Councillor Pistorius, is the hand the old one or the new one? If it's the old one, may you lower it. Thank you. Councillor Jubert, you may please.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is on page 561, or I'll start there. The expenses for this Mayoral Golf Day seems to me quite excessive. If you look at the players' apparel for 815,000, it's quite high. So if you look at the total expenses, it's 1.1 million. And then you go and look at the financial sponsors that we received for the day. It was on page 566. We're looking at 1.7 that was received there, or supposedly received, because if you look at the top, it seems like the second line, that 500,000 payment is still not received. There's another 30,000 also still pending, and another 300,000 from Standard Bank that's also still pending. So if you deduct the ones that we are still pending, not received, we are in a negative on this. And with that being said, go back to page 561, just above the comments of the legal service manager. The committee responsible for disbursement of the funds raised to assist external bursary holders is still to determine allocation for the 2022 financial year. And I can clearly understand why, because we haven't received the funds that was pledged by these donors. So I think we really need to relook the way we do this on the next year. I think the pledges must be done beforehand and received beforehand, and then the allocations to the students should be done quickly. And also we should cap or try to cut back on the expenses. Otherwise, there's less money for the students at the end of the day. I know we budget for this item, but I really think this can be done better in future. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Councillor Jubert. Councillor Mamabulo. Honorable Councillor Executive Mayor. Go ahead. It's been recognized. You'll speak after Councillor Mamabulo.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and greetings to you and colleagues. It is true that some things might not seem well, but indeed we have recommended that we be allowed to start planning for this at the end of March. So in order to allow us much more time, Honorable Speaker, to deal with each and every problem that the latter speaker has alluded to, and also to accommodate the people who are making pledges, so that at the end of the day, We know that we receive things on time. We started right now sorry, Honorable Speaker, we start it as soon as possible. We start planning our things as soon as possible so that at the end of the day, we are able to achieve a goal. We also said, Honorable Speaker, that we need to move our target from 500 to 2 million rand because of the interest that we have seen, the keen interest that we have seen from a lot of people, from a lot of companies who would want to put in a helping hand so that at the end of the day, the municipality does not spend money on this event, but we are having the sponsors giving us money to do everything in this regard. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Councillor Makulo. Executive Mayor.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, Council Chief Whip, and fellow councillors. Good afternoon. I think I agree with Councillor Joubert that some of the issues at this municipality may need to really change. How do you embark on a fundraising, expensive fundraising activities? Because when you fundraise, the objective of fundraising is to raise money, but then you spend more money in order to raise less, in a way. It's as if, why can't you just take your budget and give it to charity? So, and I think the MMC have said it. From the supply chain point of view and whoever that is running this, I think the MMC and the relevant director must ensure that most of the items are sponsored, because it doesn't make sense for me that the promotional material, the golf shirts and caps and all these things that are mentioned cost almost 1 million, 850. It doesn't make sense. You go down and say refreshments just for food on a one-day program, you spend almost 250,000. So when you are raising money, you spend as less as possible in order for you to increase the benefit of the fundraising activities. While this is a very good program, I believe that we can spend less, we can get more sponsors to sponsor items, even before the pledge is actually, that will eventually contribute towards the bursary fund. So I agree totally. It's not only this one. I have asked that we should continue to have our marathons, but I was shocked, when I asked, what is it that is needed to stay this mayoral marathon? They said almost 1.7 million. I said, but what is that for? There is a tendency of people who ensure that we do not get value for money. And finance and the relevant departments must ensure that that must come to an end. You can't seek to get to assist the poor or the poorest of the poor by spending more money from their very same coffers, because the money of the municipality is the public funds as well. So I'm just requesting that that culture or whatever norm will definitely have to come to an end, and I commit to monitor this together with the councillors, that some of these items we will have to deal with them because they just don't make sense, and I think they are part of the wrongs that we must rectify. It might look small issues. It means these are small issues that if they are done in bigger programs, then it becomes that the municipality is not prioritizing value for money, cost benefit analysis are not made. We must spend less we must spend less in order to get more. And that is the principle that we must utilize. How do we spend less but to get the best? It means that we must always think about cost effectiveness of our activities. So this matter will have to be dealt with, not only it, together with other issues that we have already realized, and even those things that we have not realized. We believe that MMC Finance, together with your department, let's insist on ensuring that some of these issues, there is a market analysis or costing that is done prior to supply chain activities, so that our budget speak to the actual real value to the municipality. Thank you very much, Speaker. I wanted just to make sure that this matter is not being left without being attended, and also that I have noted that, and I'm on it. Some of the things do not make sense at our municipality on how we spend more for less instead of spend less for more. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Executive Mayor, for the input. Next item.
Next item, item 21, Honorable Speaker. Request for approval of housing accreditation, revised business plan and implementation protocol. Page 581.
Honorable Councillor Pema. Honorable Councillor Pema. IT, please unmute Councillor Pema. Councillor Pema.
Greetings to you, Speaker, Executive Mayor, Chief Whip, and fellow councillors. We seek to get council approval as per page 581 that council take cognizance of the report. This is in line with the plan to become a metro. However, recommendation number 3, we need to make a correction. The protocols in terms of housing accreditation framework is not from 2017, it's from 2012. And the recommendations are supported by the portfolio. Thank you, Speaker.
Secretariat, have you captured the changes?
Yes, Honorable Speaker, we have captured the 2012.
Thank you. Next item.
We'll now move to item 22. Approval of the draft women settlement plan for the 2022-2023 to 2025-2026, page 705.
Honorable Councillor Pema.
Thank you once again, Madam Speaker. The report also seeks for council to take cognizance of the report, which is a Human Settlement Plan 2022 to 2023, and also the outer years, which will be in line with our metro status of making sure that human settlement plans are in place for the city. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Pema. Next item.
Honorable Speaker, we'll now move to agenda volume 7, item number 23. Request for public participation on draft integrated land use scheme 2022, page 899.
Thank you. I can see the hand of Councillor Ritas will be followed by Councillor Mashangwan.
Good day, Madam Speaker. I just want to refer to page 1025. Just a spelling mistake on the top of the page stating the conditions regulating the use of electronic. Just to fix that spelling mistake. Thank you.
Noted, Councillor Mashangwan.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to the Executive Mayor and all protocol observed. Madam Speaker, my report is for the compliance with SPLUMA component for a one land use scheme for Polokwane. And then I can refer council members to page 901, where a municipality must, after public consultation, adopt and approve a single land use for its entire area. And then the recommendation, Madam Speaker, is that the council take note of the draft Polokwane Integrated Land Use Scheme 2022, and then also that the council grants permission to do public participation on the draft land use scheme in line with the provisions of section 22 of the Polokwane Municipal Planning Bylaws 2017, and that the draft land use scheme be titled Polokwane Integrated Land Use Scheme 2022. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mashamane. Next item.
Next item is contained in Agenda Volume 8, Item 24, MPEC Oversight Report on 2020-2021 Annual Report, page 1056.
Next item.
Next item, Honorable Speaker, Item 25, contained in Volume 9, Item number 25, request for council approval for appointment of audit and performance audit committee chairperson at Polokwane Local Municipality, page 1236.
Councillor Mashamane, the whole stand of the one. It is the old one, you may lower it. Next item.
Item 26. Item 26, APEC Progress Report. Honorable Speaker.
Item 26 will be the last item to deal with. You can go to the next item. This one item will be the last one too.
My apology, Honorable Speaker. Item 27, extension on the appointment for Acting Director Roads and Transportation Services, page 1282.
I can see the hands of Councillor Jubet. Councillor Mashamane, lower your hands. Councillor Jubet.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On page 1282, if I can just be clarified, it seems like this item didn't go through any portfolio. If I can just be clarified.
Councillor Jubet, this one goes to Michael from Michael to Council. I can see the hand of Councillor Harry.
Good afternoon, also the entire council members and the executive mayor and the chief whip. I just wanted to clarify that this item cannot go to the portfolio committee. It is only via through the mayoral committee, from there to the council. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed, we are requesting that there be an extension while still waiting for the recruitment processes of appointing the director, community director, transport and roads to be appointed. So in the meantime, that is why the mayoral committee is requesting that the current acting period should be extended. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Councillor Hark, MMC. Next item.
Next item, Honorable Speaker, item 28, 2021-2022, third quarter updated council resolution, page 1286.
I can see the hand of Councillor Dubet, Councillor Molot. In that order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just want clarity on how this resolution register is updated. I assume that the council minutes that we approved today of the meeting of 28 April will only be included in the next council meeting. Why I'm asking that is because if you go back to the minutes, there was an item that should have served in council today, but it's not in the resolution register. Remember that on the impact third quarter report, we asked that the shift system be implemented and that a report be available in the next council meeting, which should have served today. And remember the council meeting of 18 February, the urgent closed council meeting. There was quite a few recommendations made there, and I can't speak to those recommendations if it's not in the resolution register. And also, I think we haven't actually formally approved that set of council minutes. So if you can just from your office side perhaps look at that so we can approve that set of minutes. It's a quite crucial matter, that meeting of the 18th of February regarding the further investigations regarding the BEC, etc. So if your office can just look at that and make it a priority, thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Jett. Councillor Mloto. Councillor Mloto. Councillor Mloto. Okay. We'll ask management to improve on the recording resolution, and then we will come with a full update in the next item. Cancel. Thank you. Next item.
Honorable Speaker, you were breaking. We didn't get your resolution.
We'll ask management to improve on the recording solution, and we'll come with a full update in the next item.
Thank you very much, Honorable.
Where your hands, please. Next item, Secretariat.
Next item, Speaker, is a closed session in Agenda Volume 10.
Secretariat, on this one of closed session, let me allow to invite Mema Shamaite Ramseli to present APEC's second and third quarter reports item in volume 9, item 26. And that one of the closed session will deal with it after this one. It will be the last item to deal with.
Noted, Honorable Speaker, even though we still have addendum 1 and addendum 2.
Yes, that one of the closed session will be the last one.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. We'll now move to item number 26. Contained in Agenda Volume 9, APEC Progress Report to Council for second quarter and third quarter 2021-2022, page 1265.
Thank you, and greetings, Honorable Speaker, and Honorable Councillors, members of administration present in the meeting. Warm words of greetings this morning. Honorable Speaker, I am here, Council. Chair, during these 2 quarters, you will note from our reports that in terms of the attendance, we don't have issues. All APEC members are actually setting time aside in terms of ensuring that they attend all the planned APEC meetings. Chair, issues that we worked on as the APEC and that we've advised on that we would like to report to this council, first of all, as to the audit reports of the Auditor General. We have reviewed the previous Auditor General's reports, Honorable Speaker, and they were not giving the good outcome as far as the performance of the municipality is concerned. The municipality has obtained qualified audit opinion, Honorable Speaker, for consecutive years. And there are 3 issues that we have identified as contributing factors that are requiring urgent attention. If, as Polokwane municipality, we are to move into unqualified audit opinion and ultimately the clean audit opinion, which is what, Honorable Speaker, I think this council will wish to have. The first weakness, Honorable Speaker, which is contributing to the municipality getting qualified audit opinion, is that the manner in which the audit process is run. We have identified as APEC that there is room for improvement there. What happens is that the audit at the beginning seems to be going smooth, but towards the end of the audit, just before the cut-off time for the reporting, there are excessive number of audit findings which are being raised by the Auditor General. Honorable Speaker, that leaves management with less time or even no time to actually attend to those issues and make sure that they are addressed before the report is actually finalized. That is a weakness, Honorable Speaker, because in terms of the audit process, as described in the Auditor General's strategy, the procedure is that there is an adjustment opportunity that management needs to have, the municipality needs to have. So if findings are raised late, that is depriving the municipality an opportunity, Honorable Speaker, to actually tap into that process of adjustment with the aim of actually addressing certain findings even before the report is finalized. So that is something that as APEC we strongly raise to the Auditor General to say it's something that is requiring an attention so that at least the Polokwane municipality will also get an audit fair process. Chairperson, the second aspect, findings raised by the Auditor General, they are valid and supported by evidence. So as APEC, we encouraged management, administration to say they need to address the root causes behind those findings, because some of the qualification paragraph, Honorable Speaker, they are actually repeating themselves. So we task management to say they need to go back and identify what are the real root causes behind these findings. The minute they address those root causes, Honorable Speaker, we should be seeing Polokwane municipality improving from the current qualified opinion into unqualified. The third weakness, which is the last one under this item requiring attention, Honorable Speaker, we've noted that during the audit process, the APEC is actually involved very late in the process. APEC is only involved either 3 days or 2 days before the sign-off of the report. So that is one item that we have actually communicated to the acting municipal manager to say, as APEC members, we have been appointed by council, Honorable Speaker, to support the municipality on issues of audits. And we need to be utilized and be given time way up front to ensure that we advise accordingly during the audit process on issues of compliance with the GRAP, unnecessary findings which are not in line with GRAP. It is our responsibility as APEC members, as specialists in this area, to actually make sure that we intervene way up front to ensure that only factual findings are raised and the municipality is receiving the fair audit opinion as it should. So that involvement of APEC on time is one of the issues that we strongly raise to say we will appreciate if APEC can be involved way up front during the audit process so that we are able to discharge our duties and advise management accordingly in dealing with the audit matters. Honorable Speaker, we also considered the audit strategy. It was presented to us, and Auditor General were indicating that they are adding 3% increase in the audit fees. And when we look into that, Honorable Speaker, we noted that this is actually in line with the little bit below the inflation rates. Then we were able to actually accept that 3% increase which is being proposed. However, what we were not happy with as APEC, Honorable Speaker, is that the Auditor General, they were indicating that they will not rely on internal audit work, which means, Honorable Speaker, this council is investing into resources of internal audit, and one of the benefits that this council is supposed to be getting is to get the reduction in terms of audit fees from Auditor General as a result of AG using internal audit work. So what we've advised as council, Honorable Speaker, we said internal audit needs to meet with AG and understand what are the requirements from AG if AG is to rely on internal audit work. Because, Honorable Speaker, we really want to see some budget saving from audit fees as a result of AG relying on the work. That is something that, Honorable Speaker, we are closely monitoring as APEC to say AG needs to communicate their expectation to our internal audit way up front. And internal audit needs to ensure that they implement those, Honorable Speaker, so that AG will, going forward, start to rely on their work. And that will ultimately result in the saving in the budget. But ultimately, Honorable Speaker, if internal audit are touching on aspects which are touched by AG, that will help internal audit preparing management in ensuring that they fix everything way before even AG come on board. Then that on its own, Honorable Speaker, it will enable the municipality to actually get a better audit opinion than the one that we have at the moment. Honorable Speaker, we also reviewed the reports of internal audit in terms of their implementation of the audit plan, doing what they're expected to do. We are happy as APEC. Internal audit has raised audit findings, some control weaknesses in various business processes of the municipality. So what we have done as APEC, Honorable Speaker, we have encouraged acting MM together with his team to say they need to closely audit findings and address them. Because if management address internal audit findings, that will ultimately improve the control environment within the municipality. And that will ultimately assist the municipality to even get a better audit opinion without even a hassle from the Auditor General. And we got commitment, Honorable Speaker, from acting MM that these findings will actually be addressed. He will make sure that in his management meetings, these are being given attention so that we are able to get value from the work done by internal audit. Honorable Speaker, we've noted that for some time internal audit has been using contracted services. And I listened to various speeches of the executive mayor that one of the goals that he has is to actually reduce these contracted services. So as APEC, Honorable Speaker, what we are doing in that regard, we have requested internal audit together with their contracted service provider to say let there be a transfer of skills plan. The issues that internal audit are lacking skills of, let them be written down and let it be a deliverable from the contracted service provider to ensure that they transfer skills to our own in-house internal audit, so that with time, Honorable Speaker, we can be able to see internal audit delivering on their mandate without the assistance of contracted services. And that will be one of the things which will contribute into one of the initiatives that Executive Mayor is really pushing as far as transfer of skills and reducing use of consultants is concerned. Honorable Speaker, we also reviewed aspects of in the 2 quarters aspect of finance. In terms of the revenue being billed, the percentage, it was within a track. However, the challenge is just on the debt collection, Honorable Speaker. The finance are doing well in terms of making sure that they bill everything that needs to be billing. The billing is closer to the budgeted revenue, However, the collection is a challenge. So that is one area that we actually advise the Chief Financial Officer to say they need to look at the ways in which they can actually improve the debt collection so that we are able to collect that revenue which is due to this council for the purpose of it being utilized for the service delivery. Area of concern that we've noted in these 2 quarters on 17% increase in the ESCOM bill. This is one of the things which is actually not looking good, because expenditure, it means it actually taking more from the revenue. So that is one of the things that it also requires the attention, and we ask management to put measure to see what type of engagement can be held with ESCOM as far as this bill is concerned. But this is one of the factors, Honorable Speaker, which is a concern at a county level. It's not only Polokwane municipality which is struggling from this. The whole country, the cost of electricity is just becoming out of hand at the moment. Honorable Speaker, the other item under finance was overtime. Overtime is spiking, and that is a concern to APEC. We have raised this concern to management to say employees need to start to deliver within the salaries that they are actually contracted for. There is a risk that if this is not looked at, we find a situation where employees can pack certain duties which would have been done during the normal working hours, and they are reserved to be done during the overtime. So we actually requested that management need to be closely looking into this, and we are expecting that they need to be declined as far as the use of overtime is concerned. Honorable Speaker, this is one of the items we identified as an issue, and we are monitoring it as APEC. Honorable Speaker, we also reviewed the draft IDP and the budget for the 2022-2023. So we have provided our inputs as APEC. Just in a nutshell, what we're looking for aspects such as the alignment between the IDP and the budget. The projects that we have in the IDP together with the budgets, are they in line with the figures which are actually indicated in the draft budget? The KPIs and targets in the IDP, are they smart? Are they meeting SMART principle? Because this is one of the critical aspect that it needs to be there so that we are able to actually monitor. This council is able to monitor the delivery of those projects, implementation of those projects on the ground. We also noted that there was an improvement. Our report, Honorable Speaker, it's indicating that internal controls within the IDP process and the budgeting process, 73% of controls are effective, which is something that we actually commended acting MM together with his team, but we said still the 27% which is not effective, they need to work on that, because we are looking at a situation where we should be sitting at 100% effectiveness of controls as far as the processes of the municipalities is concerned. Chair, that is in a Honorable Speaker, in a nutshell, the 2 reports from APEC. I will pause here and take clarity seeking question. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much for the presentation, Mema Shamait. I'm now going to note heads who want to talk to this report. Councillor Gilbert will be followed by Chief.
Can I speak, Madam Speaker?
Yes, we may speak Councillor Gilbert Kamedi and also Councillor Mathaji. MMC, where to be the last speaker. Thank you, Councillor Gilbert.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to welcome the presentation from the Speaker. Don't have a question per se, but I think it was quite eye-opening, the comments that she made. So hopefully, with what she said, internal audit can work with that, and then we can go towards getting a better qualified or better audit opinion. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Gilbert. Chief Whip.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And let me greet the Executive Mayor and all councillors, and also appreciate the report from APEC. Indeed, it was an eye-opening report, but I'm worried about the level of service we are getting from internal audit. I think the finance portfolio needs to monitor very closely the work of internal audit if we need to have some changes there, whether there are some changes. Because number one, if Auditor General cannot rely on the work of internal audit, it's a serious institutional problem. For AG not to rely on work is either you are innocent, and a worst of all, it is reported here that internal audit was using the work of contracted service. It means also those contracted individuals were deemed not to be of competence. That is why AG was not relying on their work in conducting the audit. So it's a serious institutional problem. If the internal audit is not performing, it means we do not have cannot measure the effectiveness of our own internal controls, making the control environment very ineffective. So we appreciate it very good presentation, which was honest from APEC. But again, you spoke about the issue of AG within the findings very late in the audit, where we do not have sufficient time to resolve all matters of emphasis. I think going forward in our engagement led with the AG, there should be stipulated time frames on which activities can happen when and which can happen when. Within that, prior the audit, there must be terms of engagement. Let's try and fix there so that we do not have kind of problems recurring. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker, and greetings to the Leadership Executive Mayor, and also the presenter from APEC. I just want to acknowledge the presentation, Honorable Speaker, and the emphasis around the presentation which was said. And also, you see, the presenter also identified the contributing factors or witnesses around our institution. So in order for us to obtain a better audit opinion. With what the presenter was saying and discussing with us, and with what he mentioned, to say that he mentioned the loopholes with the acting MM and the manager in terms of them to improve, because in principle, I heard she said that there's a room of improvement, and we really appreciate that. But in my understanding, Honorable Speaker and colleague, I guess this thing need commitment from the managers, the directors, etc. Hence, previously, the executive mayor has mentioned that we are not happy about this audit finding that are coming in Polokwane municipality. Hence, the presenter said that there is a room of improvement. And with what she was saying, I guess there is a commitment from her side and the team to make sure that our municipality is moving in the right direction. And with on one, in terms of us to have a good audit findings moving forward. And she also raised this thing that I captured, Honorable Speaker, the late involvement, whereby APEC is invited in the late prior to the audit. So maybe from the side of the management and the director, especially the acting MM, hence she said that she discussed with the acting MM, and the acting MM correctly agreed that they will be in line with what is requesting and the commitment in terms of the audit outcome of the municipality. Maybe let me lastly say that you see, I like the spirit or the attitude that the presenter was saying, assist us. It will assist the municipality to get a very a better audit opinion, which Councillor Gilberto was talking about. I guess if we can move in this speed and the commitment from your APEC as we are doing the presentation, by doing the oversight in terms of that, I guess we'll be moving in the right direction. So from my side, I really appreciate the presentation, and I wish you can assist us in terms of us to get a better audit opinion. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, LMC. Councillor Matachi. Councillor Matachi.
Speaker, let me start by appreciating the presentation way up front. Speaker, I also think on the issue of financial management, they've advised that we cut and eliminate wasteful lead to poor service delivery. And also on our side, we'll make sure that we implement post-audit action plans. Thanks, so that we achieve positive audit outcomes. Thanks, Speaker.
Thank you, MMC Ngwe. Councillor Malachi. Councillor Matachi.
For the questions that we have received, I have noted most of them. It's actually inputs from honorable council members echoing the sentiment that yes, work still needs to be done in order administration and taking the services to the people, which is the main mandate of this municipality. So, Honorable Speaker, I have noted the inputs that have been provided by council members, and we will definitely ensure that we are implementing those. We will continue to do the monitoring on the ground as part of our oversight in order to ensure that ultimately we get to the results that we all want to see. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Mama Shante. And thank you for the informative presentation and the work that you continue to do as a committee on behalf of Council. I really like to appreciate having you today. And our list. Thank you. Next item, Secretary.
Much, Honorable Speaker. We'll now move to the addendum, item 30. Approval of Leetola Polokwane Phase 1A turnaround strategy for implementation. Page 1.
Next item.
Item 31 in the addendum 1, page item 31. Notice of expiry of term of appointment of members of Audit and Performance Audit Committee, APEC, and Chairperson of Risk Management Committee and Chairperson of Disciplinary Misconduct Board of Polokwane Local Municipality.
Next item.
Item 32 in the addendum 2, Polokwane Municipality establishment of ward committees for 2021 to 2026 term of office.
Chief Whip will be followed by Executive Mayor. Thank you. In that order, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to know, referring to page 6, item 5.1b, wards with more than 10 villages may elect no more than 13 ward committee members. This is not in line with the Local Governance Municipal Structures Act 117 of 1998. According to the Local Government Municipal Structures Act 117 of 1998, Section 73 2b, not more than 10 other persons. My question is, what constituted Polokwane Council? Follow-up questions as well, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Councillor Botha. Councillor Jubek.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I agree with Councillor Botha. I understand that that set of questions would form part of this council and form part of this item. Came out through the WIPRI discussions is the non-compliance or adequately in inadequate time for this ward committees to be established. Now, in essence, we don't have an issue with that. We go to page. I'm referring to the ward committee now, bylaw itself on page 23. 6.4. A person is not eligible for election if he or she is employed by Polokwane municipality, and that they would basically resign and then basically get to the ward committee as a ward committee member. So it says if you're in the employ of the municipality, you're not eligible, full stop. I'm going to further with 6.6. A person whose municipal services account for rates and services is in arrears for more than 3 months. Nowhere in the bylaw it says that a person can pay that off, and that's what we committee member must be able to read and write. Was there any tests done to verify this? So with that being said, I probably know what the answers will be. We are not supporting this, not in support of this item, but just remember that Councillor Botha still is open to ask questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon to Executive Mayor, yourself, and all councillors. I would like to agree partly with Councillor Gilbert. I think coming out of our pyramid, there were agreements that the report is not reflecting, and that is why Councillor Gilbert says they are not in support of the item. Unfortunately, upon us to agree, the documents were already out for printing. So I'm suggesting, Honourable Class, that we amend the recommendations. We amend the recommendations. Yes. Like for example, recommendation number 30. That is as follows: that council approves that ward committees resume their duties as from 1 2022 and they be paid their monthly stipend. Because the vetting from SAPS has not taken place, And if it comes having identified Mr. or Mr. Soren having to have a criminal record, it means we would have incurred regular expenditure because we are going to terminate and we will not be able to recover the money. So we can change the recommendation that, and it is as follows: that council approves that work committees will resume with their duties as from 1 June 2022 and will be operating without a stipend up until the vetting subs is concluded, and they can be paid retrospectively what they are owed. That part of that can be resolution of condition number 3. And I'm agreeing with Councillor Jibaya that conditions of the bylaw need to be satisfied. That one of individuals owing municipalities or accounts 3 months arrears are not eligible to stand. According to this report, we are 9 elected persons, and we can agree that those particular 9 persons falls off. We go back, we conduct a rerun, and before we do that, we check their municipal accounts if they are in arrears or not. That will mean that will be totally scrapped. Will not have recommendation number 6. Yeah, I think it will be okay. That one of casual workers. Remember, our bylaw says those who are in the employ of the institution are eligible to stand, and I think council agree that they have not given much emphasis in terms of our bylaw, because some do not regard temporary employment as employment in a context of a person employed full-time. So I'm saying that for those who bring us termination letters today, we can allow to be what committees if they have satisfied the conditions of not in the institution and who are agreeing that the vetting process will be included and confirm them to be full-fledged committees. And perhaps add another condition that would say a community to be sent to all elected persons, informing them that should vetting come, the subs-vetting comes indicate that they've got criminal records, we immediately remove them. And those without reports will be paid their stipend with respect. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chief Whip. I see a hand of Councillor Nomonde, the Executive Mayor. You are recognized. You'll be the last to speak to this item. Councillor Nomonde.
Thank you, Speaker of Council, and greetings to all the councillors. Speaker, I'm not sure because Chief Whip has raised so many issues, but I wanted to chip into the issue that was raised. The report was presented to council, which council had to go the through process, public participation, which led to a bylaw, guided by the bylaw that's been approved by council in terms of running the process. So, Chief Speaker, my submission in relation to all the requirement as per the bylaw in ensuring that we are in compliance. We can't choose which one we comply, which one we don't comply. We need to comply to all of them. Therefore, Chief Whip, I was saying the council to approve the presentation or the submission on condition that each and every person is going to be verified in terms of your criminal record, in terms of your payment, in terms of everything. If the issue of a person being in an EPWP program in the municipality, the bylaw, the way it has been coined, it says that individual cannot be a ward committee. I'm just saying it means chairperson speaker, I don't know, but I was saying I was making the submission that we approve this submission on condition that each and every item will be attended to. Let me make an example. In compliance with SARS, or you did not attach your SARS or whatever the case, they will be giving you an opportunity to say, can you clarify this one? Can you be sure to 1, 2, 3? So that these individuals, some of them at the time they were running this process, isn't it that they were nominated from the ground? The municipality were unable to verify if they owe the municipality or not. But now that the municipality is aware that these people are owing the municipality, that the municipality need to communicate with them and give them an opportunity to clear their names, so that as and when as council we approve the totality of the implementation, then all those things have been cleared. I don't think it will be fair, Chief Whip. I mean, person that has been nominated because he's owing 200, we are not giving that individual an opportunity to clear that so that we are in compliance with the legislation. No, that credit, that is the one of security, they are taking long, so we're taking an option to say it is understandable. Unfortunately, when we take that resolution, we did not talk about the unfortunate situation. We said we must be in compliance. So I think I was making that submission, Chief Whip. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Councillor Chibamu. Executive Mayor.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I think let me appreciate the inputs that my fellow councillors have made. Speaker, it is very clear that there are things that need to happen before the approval. Firstly, that the municipality need to engage the South African Police Services, the Provincial Commissioner's Office, to do the vetting of all the individuals that has been nominated, where individuals owes the municipality for more than 3 months in line with the provision. Those individuals are the ward committee from what the provisions are saying. And it is better for us to, those that need to rerun, you know, you are eligible to participate in the rerun if you have actually cleared your staff in terms of the owing of the municipality and as well as the issue of the criminal record. We will not stop you. If by any chance in between now, if that particular individual ward must rerun that particular village or that particular VD, we will have to do that. But we need to come up with a report that is in compliance with the regulations, I mean, the bylaws. It will be difficult for us to change the rules while the game is on. It will put us in a very, very difficult situation should we be taken to court by individuals who feel aggrieved. And my take is that let's clear the report. Let's refer the report back to be cleared. Those who need to rerun, let them be identified that here we are rerunning because you are still in the employ of the municipality. If while we are rerunning you have resigned before that, that is another matter. But for now, the regulations or the provision says that no one within the employ of the municipality shall actually be eligible to run for ward committees. Let us remember that the moral background of some of the provision derive from the fact that as a ward committee, in fact, ward committee member, you are not a politician, you are a representative of a community. How will you be able to advocate for people paying for their services, whereas you have been defaulting on your payment of services yourself? You are owing for that particular period. And if you've got a criminal case, it means you might have committed a crime somewhere in your communities or whatever. They know about it. How do you become a member of a committee that is supposed to protect the interest of that particular community where your conduct is seriously under question or is questionable? So let us follow the regulations. Let's refer the report back. We rather be keen to call a special council and let the administrators, acting municipal manager and your team engage the provincial commissioner to speed up the issues where they need to assist us. As much as we're dealing with other cases where we need clearances here and there. So whatever we can utilize, if we're utilizing those, let's utilize in order for us to speed up this process and ensure that we call a special, we request the speaker to call a special council meeting. Then we, even if that meeting is just to consider the ward committee issues, we will also agree that in that meeting that we will have, because we are aware that since they were elected, there's a lot of work on the ground. If we had to approve and make their payments retrospective from the date of which they were elected, because they've started working, that council will take a decision at an appropriate time. But for now, I think that we will need to refer back the report. It just needs those things to be tightened up, and then it will come back to council for approval. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Executive Mayor. The report is referred back. Secretariat. Next item.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. We'll now go back to volume 10, item number 29, which is closed session.
Members of the public and the media to excuse us as we are on closed session